All right, welcome in. And if you would, somebody get Ben Cooper on here. I know that Cooey, you just talked to him. We're recording for the sake of Mike Monroe. All right, let's go do a quick round of just updates on demos and orders and anything you've noticed in the last week or so on your demos and on working with the website. Okay, working with your custom website. I'm gonna start with Tam. Tam, you just now set up your website, so I don't know if you've even done a demo yet with it. Did you just get it set up? Have you done an appointment yet?
Yeah, I did too, using my website.
Oh, what do you think?
It's amazing. I really like that it lets you go deeper. Not only are you just talking about your goals as well as your everything like that, they can see it, you know.
Yeah.
I really like that they're able to see it. They can see how far I am with
Yeah.
my career and what I want to do future wise. I just really, I think it's really, really effective, to be honest.
All right, well, you've done two. That's good. And you know, the purpose of the reason this all came up in the very first place when we made one for Madison when she was brand new is I knew if we kind of typed it out and had it and on her virtuals, if she, you can't really make the same connection face to face, but having pictures of family, pictures of her as a kid, goals printed out, gratitude page, and that, I just knew that there's no way to do a bad demo with that stuff. I mean, if you just went from one tab to the next to the next to the next, it's hard to skip things and it's hard to, not cover the things that matter the most. So that's good. So you did two. The all important question is, are we selling any knives on these two demos?
I am. I sold on one of them.
All right. So 50% so far on the dealio. That's good. Last week, Jana, you were taking some time off, I think, because of the spring break or whatever. Did you get back? I think I saw you with some CPO on the board this last week. Tell me what's going on with you.
So in the past week, I've done 4 demos.
Okay. And
didn't mean to take a break, but
yeah. Well, I know you took a little time off, and it's hard to build momentum back up. I think a lot of people, especially you've been working for what, 2 months, a month and a half?
A month and a half-ish.
Month and a half, yeah. So you're still really new, and really when it comes to a lot of things, a lot of you guys are really just babies in the business, and it's hard to recognize just the significance of just missing a few days, just being out of the groove. Even though you're on the group chat, which is probably part of the reason why you're able to get back and do anything. You're still part of the group chat. You're still part of the team. Still part of the culture. But it's just a weird thing, and until you're at like 30 or 40 or 50,000 in sales, and even then, sometimes just even 2 or 3 or 4 days of no activity, sometimes really hard to build back from. It's just a challenge, and that's just natural for anybody. But you got 4 appointments, and you had some orders this week. I think I saw something popping up on the board for you.
Yeah, I had 2, but that was from Sunday and Monday. So like none for this week technically, but since the last
meeting, sure. And you're any updates on using the website? You're feeling like you're getting more comfortable with it, or there's some ideas you have on how to improve it or how to improve interacting with it?
I think it just really helps with the goal sharing part of it, and since that's like a really important part of the demo and getting your customers or clients engaged,
yeah,
I think it makes it a lot better and easier to explain.
Right. We're going to look through, and Mike Monroe specifically wanted to see some of these sites. And so Vanessa's going to pull some sites up and teach you guys a little bit on how to do your own edits. Because a lot of you guys are asking Vanessa here for just like the smallest edits. And she's like, these are things that are pretty simple. People could probably do with a little bit of training. So we're going to give you guys some training tonight on how to edit your own simple stuff. If you have simple things, and if you still need Vanessa to help you with something, she's still going to be open to doing that. Tiffany, I know I saw some deals on the board for you this week. I think maybe in the last few days even. What's happening with you?
So I had 3 demos and 4 orders.
Oh, now that's a magic trick. Let's explain that to us.
So I got Rex, and then there was 2 of the Rex that I got. The woman that I did an appointment with, she said that they weren't interested in hearing the presentation because of their kids, and they already know what Cutco is. So they just wanted to go ahead and place the order.
Oh, well, all right. We'll let them, I suppose.
So I just set that up for her.
Of course, we always prefer to do the appointment and hopefully sell them more than they would have bought without it, and all that, and get the practice. But yeah. What are you gonna do? If somebody wants to buy something and basically give you free money for spending 3 minutes putting an order online, I guess that's okay. We'll let them do that.
Yeah.
No problem. We got you officially registered for the summit, by the way, the virtual summit. We got that covered, so we're good to go. I think Jana, I think you registered, if I'm not mistaken. I think Cassidy registered. Everybody on here, by the way, needs to be registered if you haven't already done it. I was challenged specifically by John Kane to make sure we get every viable person that wants to have any kind of future for the summer in the business to get them registered for the summit. They lowered the price by $50. They added a whole bunch of stuff on the push period. Guys, this push thing, I think, does it start Monday? I think it starts on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it starts the following Monday. I gotta make sure we know that. I'll find out and get it to you. But all you gotta do is sell 5,000 in like a 3-week period of time. So it's nothing like super outrageous. Anybody on here is capable of doing that. And you're going to be entered in like a awesome drawing for like $1,000 or something, or a bunch of Cutco. I should know what it is. But I've been busy training people online. So get registered. And I think I told you guys on one of the group meetings, if you're not registered by like tonight, when I look at who's registered, I'm just going to go on and sign you up. So you have no choice. There you go. And also what's good is even if you can't make it, you get access to all the videos afterwards. Okay. So you can get the training at any point in time in the future. All right, let's Cassidy, let's talk to you, Dragon Warrior. What's going on? How's your week on the websites going?
Well, since last Friday I did 7 demos and I got 3 orders.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's still like really good. I don't know. I still get like a few people who say that it's like long. There was one day where like 2 people, both of them were like, "Oh, I can't do a long demo. Like I can only," the first one, it was on Tuesday. The first one was like, "I can only do 45 minutes." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the second one, they were like, "Oh, I can only do 30 minutes." So I really got like kind of jacked with those 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, you really should be able to have a condensed. I think too, we would find that we could condense our demo. There's things that we're probably doing and saying that we could get by without saying, and it would not make it any less effective. I'm going to really encourage you guys to record your demo and listen to it and listen and try to see, because there's the CSP squad is proven at booths. Somebody will walk up with no intention of buying anything, and they don't know anything about Cutco. They never heard of it, and in a 15-minute period, they're dropping $2,000 on a Siggy. Okay, we know that this can be done. How to do it virtually, I don't exactly know, but maybe we need to have a look. What are you using for the demo portion, not the website stuff, but the demo portion? Are you using the Prezi, the bit.ly.com/Cutco demo, something like that?
Yeah, the Prezi.
Are you guys using the Prezi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few customers I've seen on the post demo questions that have listed, the demo could be shorter, the videos could be shorter. I would have bought in half the time. I see that sometimes, but see, we just don't know which customer that is. And until you've had like a couple of years of experience, I wouldn't be trying to judge who needs the whole thing and who needs just a little bit, so don't worry too much about some people thinking it's long. Just keep doing it. I remember when I heard a guy named John Cleveland, when I was a rep, he told me most of his demos took between 3 and 4 hours, and they were in-home demos. And I was like, what? But he sold 11 Homemaker Plus 8s in a row, So I was like, well, maybe I would take notice to that, he's from West Texas. He's a slow talker too. He talked like this, and maybe that's why it took so long. He's talking pretty slow about stuff, but he would like get into so much detail about every little thing. And he would, anyway, that's it, beside the point. This is why my meetings take too long, because I start telling stories. All right, we got Dave. Hey, Dave, you done any appointments in the last 7 days? You've been trying to pretend you're a manager already.
Yeah, haven't done any appointments recently, but it's mainly my fault. I kind of overbooked this week because I took on responsibilities with my Filipino club.
Schmilipino. You're bringing me down, dude. No, I'm kidding. Okay, no, I get it. I know that you had some things going on. I'm not going to give you too hard of a time, although I'm not sure I'm going to let you talk to me for 7 more days. I'm just teasing. And you got your demo, you got your interviews in your Vector Live too. I saw that, so you got all that stuff done too. So I know you got stuff going on in school and everything. All right, Benjamin Cooper, I think you're the one I want to talk to next. Hey, nice job last week, by the way. I know you've had some sales and some no sales. Seth Bontrager, by the way, was blown away watching your demo, and it was awesome. He said he watched you have a no sale, but he said he learned so much and was just nuggetized all the way through. You didn't sell 2 Cutco kitchens last week, right? You sold 1.
I sold 1.
Yeah, somebody said 2, and I'm like, I only saw 1.
I sold 2 in the last, I sold 1 at the end of December. That's why.
In December. What's your last 7 days look like?
The last 7 days, 10 demos, technically 10 orders, but not on those demos. I had 3 phone orders, so 7 out of 10 sales on the demos.
Okay.
Total of 9,300 CPO.
Booyah! How you feeling about that? It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna focus on midterms this week a little bit more. I got 2 demos tomorrow. I'm gonna do 2 on Sunday, and the campaign doesn't seem like anybody else is trying to catch me in the All-American. I didn't see anybody else on the standing.
Look, let me just tell you one thing. You never know what happens in the last freaking week, right? Here's what I'll tell you. Look, and yes, I want you to sell as much as possible, and yes, it benefits the division and all this, but I want to be, totally straight. if you take it a little bit easy on the weekend and some freak of nature knocks out a $15,000, $20,000 a week, which I've seen happen, and
That's what it would take. Yeah.
beats you by, you know, $150 or even $300, even $1,000, you're going to be like, man. So just like any race, any professional, any athlete that's you know, serious about their craft, you run to the finish line. You run just as hard as if you were behind by 2,000 or behind by 4,000. You just got to run it, okay? And if you end up expanding your league, more power to you. You made more money, and you'll feel good about it. And do everything, though. You know, you do it all. I believe in the genius of the and, my friend. Right? I know people all the time say, well, like, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to do this. There's a book called Good to Great that Anthony read that he talks about all the time. The predecessor to that book is called Built to Last. I think it's twice as good as Good to Great. Okay. Some people disagree, but I love this book. It's one of my all-time favorite books that I read. I was fascinated. And it talked about companies that have staying power and go a long way. And one of the common denominators was that these companies believed in the genius of the and instead of the tyranny of the or. So anytime you think of I'm either going to focus on school or I'm going to really work hard on my demos, right? I'm talking to everybody, not Ben Cooper necessarily. You don't have to do one or the other, right? You don't have to, I'm going to focus on having fun with my friends, or I'm going to work really hard on Cutco. You don't have to say or. There's always a way, or at least you should go into things with the belief that there's always a way to have the genius of the and not fall prey to the tyranny of the or. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how you live your life. You could do that. Anyway, Ben, whatever you decide. I mean, I wouldn't say you're a lot for the #1 spot. I'm super proud of you for hitting that #1 spot. I just, you know, I want you to keep it. You know, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
So, you know,
Absolutely.
we got you there. All right. Vanessa, let us, why don't you pick, does anybody have any changes they need to make to their site, like right now, that Vanessa could make and use your site as an example to make some adjustments? Or Vanessa, did you have a plan on how you want to show this?
I can just use the template to show some changes if
Okay.
no one has any specific needs.
Oh, I didn't ask Kim. Kim, by the way, there you are. I see you right in the middle. I don't know that you did appointments in the last 7 days. Did you do appointments?
No, but in total, I've done 8 so far.
Okay, 8 so far, and you had, I know the first few you didn't have sales on, but you've
No,
kind of rallied a little bit and had some sales on the last ones. What's the total?
2, but that's not what's concerning me. I feel like I just literally need to do more demos because like the goal was literally to do 20, so I'm like behind on that. But that's not even what's like getting to me. I think it's just the Rex above all because it's so bad. But I only got 1 like out of all of them. You know.
Are you reading the rec approach?
Yeah.
Right off the thing.
Yeah, and it's so unusual because I usually get like a sponsor or 2, so I'm like, oh, like I think I'm better in person, but
Well, maybe maybe you did everything right, and it just happened to be. I mean, it seems unlikely, but it just happened to be that those were they're going to be the tough ones. I don't know, but let's get you listening in on a demo. Let's get you listening in on a Cassidy. When's your next appointment? You have one scheduled tomorrow?
Yeah, I have one at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
You guys exchange numbers in the group chat, you guys, and Kim,
okay.
jump in on Cassidy's 11 o'clock tomorrow. Just listen, unless you're already field training with somebody. You got anything tomorrow at 11?
I can do 11.
Okay. You guys, there's Cassidy's number in the group chat. Take that down. You guys connect, and let's get you guys field training together.
Okay, thank you.
And also, Kim, I know you've been doing some phone time and setting some things. Your next demo, let's let Cassidy listen in on yours. Right? You guys can learn from each other a little bit. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Field training is one of the most beautiful things, you guys. We got to get more and more and more of it. I would like for this group, I would love it if you never did a demo without somebody listening. Okay. And in your times when you're not doing demos or not doing phone time or not doing schoolwork or something specific, instead of binge watching something, say, hey, who's got a demo? I want to field train with somebody and try to field train. You know, with every new rep that you got, you guys could field train and just listen. You might not know everything, but you know more than a brand new rep knows, right? You know how to make a special deal on a homemaker and things like that. You can make a huge difference. What's your cat's name, Cassidy?
Bella.
All right. Bella, what Vanessa's going to do is for you. She's going to show you. I'm going to mute myself so I don't continue to interrupt. And I'm going to let Tiffany, I'm going to let Vanessa talk about edits.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys a template and work off that. And if you guys have any questions or anything that I don't cover, please feel free to jump in and ask me about it. The #1 thing that I've noticed is the link. I know people have questions about the link. So if you just go to pages on the side, you'll see the demo. If you click on the three buttons on the side and hit properties, right there's your link, and you can change that to whatever you want. So, and then just press done and publish. And once you press done and publish, then that's all good for you guys to go. The other thing I've noticed is this part right here is disproportionate for some people. What you can do once you put your picture in and everything is up here, there's a preview button. And it puts your website into a preview view. So you can see what it will actually look like with the picture and everything. And if you exit out of it, you can edit it and say like this if you want to make it smaller. You can pull it smaller. You can make this bigger if you want to make it bigger. And just kind of work with it to see how it works with your picture. Another thing that I've gotten questions about is on your goals page, trying to do the strike through. What I've noticed is, I don't know if this is with everyone's laptop, so this could just be my laptop that I have to do this with, but I have to change the text to small, and then I press Command Shift X, cross it out, and then put it back to heading. There's no other way that I've been able to do it with mine. But if anyone else has a better way of doing it, please feel free to put it in the chat as well. And then it's the same thing for putting it back into uncross. You just put it back into small text, Command Shift X, and then put it back into the heading text. Does that make sense? I'm getting some head shakes. Okay. Is there any like specific questions any of you guys have? No? Anything you guys had a hard time with? I know headings can be a little difficult to size. The only way that you can really size that is Google Sites, unfortunately, is a little limiting with the editing skills. So the best thing to do is to crop your picture outside of the Google Sites and then re-import it, and then Google Sites will automatically center it. And so if it looks like your head's being cut off or anything like that, you just crop the bottom of it, and then that way it'll center down more.
Sorry to interject, but do you know how do you know that you can crop it inside Google Sites?
So you can try and, let's see if we upload. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm using yours because I was just working on your website. So we have that picture, right? So are you asking, Jay, are you asking if you can or are you?
No, never mind. I know the header's difficult, but I thought you were talking about normal pictures. You can
No,
continue.
yeah. So normal pictures you guys can crop inside, like here. And then if you double click on it, it lets you crop it how you want to. And then you can move it to the side. You can zoom in or out how you want to, and then just press the check when you're done. So you can crop the actual pictures inside the Google Sites program. But for headers, those you have to crop outside of Google Sites, just cut off the bottom a little bit. And then once you put it back into uploading it, then it will center properly. There's two people from the chat here. Yeah, so you can do that too. You can go to Word, copy and paste the strike through as well. I know it's a little annoying to have to do that. I'm sure there's another shortcut as well for PC users. I think it's Alt-Shift-5 or Alt-Shift-X for PC users to strike through as well. Do you guys have any questions on, or any issues that you've had with your websites or anything that you wanted to edit that just hasn't worked out properly? No?
Wait, so just to double check, like, sorry, it was like a dumb question, but after you make a certain change, you just have to press publish?
Yeah, so if you make a certain change, and you press publish and you're publishing an edit, it will just ask you to review that edit and it'll show you the before and after of what you've edited, and then you just press publish and it'll go directly to your website. So if you want to make edits to your website without it being visible, it's fine. It's not going to be visible until you press publish.
Hey, is there a way on like the top here where we have my goals and this one picture in the background, is there a way to put like a collage of pictures in the background? Or I guess you'd have to make the collage separately on some other program and then just upload it as one thing?
Yeah, it's best to do as a outside of the program and then upload it. It's just with Google Sites, unfortunately, it's very limiting. We can add an image carousel, not to the header, but if you want to add an image carousel down here, then you just go to Insert, Image Carousel, and then you upload all your pictures, and then press Insert, and it will come up as that image carousel on your website, and then you can.
And where would this image carousel show up right now?
So it would show up at the bottom of the page. It would come up at the bottom here, and then you can move it to anywhere in the page that you want to.
Okay. I see. All right. Yeah, I was just playing around with that strike through thing. I found I can strike through if it's on the normal text or on the small. And I don't know what you pushed as far as the keys, but there's a go to where the strike through is. and then highlight field sales manager 50%. Okay, and then up a click heading and click it to normal text. Okay, notice now, scroll up or move your cursor up to the higher, right by the, go to the right. Keep going to the right on the other side of the trash can. Click there, and there's your strike through thing right there. That's how I do it. I don't know how, what you were pushing, but you can strike through right there. Go ahead and strike through it.
Yep.
And then you make it back to the heading. I don't know why that's weird though. Google's, you know, they took a lot of functionality away just to make it simpler. And they're slowly but surely moving things back in because they kind of moved it to a new format on the Google thing. All right, very good. I'm curious to, well, I was going to ask about what virtual demo people are on, but I don't think that makes a whole hill of beans difference. What thing people are on. Can you do me a favor and let's pick page 1 and just scroll through everybody's page 1 and just look at them so people can see if there's anybody got anything really different than anybody else. All right, there's Tim. Can you shrink the page or make it where I can see more of the page all at once? You know, on a Mac, I hit Command and then the minus sign, and it kind of zooms out. Yeah, there you go. I don't need to read the words. I just want to see the look of it. Okay. All right, there's Tam. Good. She picked the purple. That's my wife's favorite color. Purple. There was somebody else that we just added last week. Who did we just add? Did you make one for Jason Guerrero?
We've made one. We haven't had a chance to work on it yet.
Yeah, because I know he saw the set today, a gourmet set today, but I guess he wasn't using his website.
Yeah, so Julia started on hers here.
Yeah, I got some work on mine. I'm actually finishing up field training with somebody.
Oh, you jumped on. Okay, good. That's Julia. And Julia also. Yeah, Julia, we just started her. She was Hayes. What's going on with Julia? She don't want to talk to us. She don't like us anymore. Silva, ma'am, it's Friday night. She might. Well, I was going to say she might be out, but she can't be out doing much. Yeah. All right, cool. What do you guys think of that blank space? Is that blank space a problem, or does Julia need to add more in there, more personal goals, Vanessa?
So that's one of the things that we can edit to make this smaller so it looks.
Yeah, she doesn't have much in there. It says July 2019, I started a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can add more there and then just make that side smaller, make the picture bigger so that it looks more proportionate when we pull it up onto an actual website for full view.
All right, cool.
Yeah, the front page, there's not much difference between them. Just
where do you notice the biggest differences in people's sites?
The biggest difference has been the demo page and the goals page, for sure.
And the demo page, only because there's a different demo used. Some people are using Get Vector Train, some people using or MyCutCo Demo, some people using viewcutco.com, and et cetera.
The other one that has some changes is the gratitude page. That's because people like to have different videos for their gratitude video, or they can't remember all the people they've done a demo for, so we edit it so that it doesn't show everyone they've done a demo for, just everyone who sold with them.
Yeah, and once you've got like 150 customers, then you don't need to be putting everybody who did a demo. You can, when you get enough customers. I just wanted to, I like it.
Yep, but front page pretty much stays the same. Some people have the Newport Beach Spartans up here if they're in that.
Good.
Yeah, if anyone else has an office logo.
Yeah, if them didn't want to use the office logo, they can use the Southland logo for sure. Like.
Yep. Do you want to keep seeing websites? Or?
All right, cool. Was there something that someone wanted to ask about that was not necessarily website related? We got about 10 more minutes on my schedule to be here. Was there? Oh, Jaden. Hey, good to see you again. I don't think I saw you last week. Jaden, have you been? You were out of action for a little while. Have you been doing appointments in the last 7 days?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, give me what kind of stats you got in the last 7 days? And you were using the website, the custom site for all your appointments?
Yeah, I'm really liking the site for sure.
What was your stats for your last 7 days worth of appointments? Ben Cooper's got the lead with 10, and then we have a few people that didn't do any, and we got Anthony Hayes who doesn't want to breathe on anybody.
I'd be kind of guessing. I think I probably did. This past week was a bit less. I'm guessing in the last 7 days it was around 10, 12, something like that.
Okay, all right, that's good. How many orders you had, and what your CPO is?
Not exactly. I think it was pretty low, probably like 4 or 5 orders. I'm still kind of not really showing to the right people, I think. So
Ah,
hoping to get Rex.
that'll make a big difference. Yeah,
Get into the right circles. Yeah, definitely.
Getting the Rex is the first part, but then qualifying and finding out who the best ones to contact first. That's really the secret. You know, I remember hearing somebody give a talk on. I used to love when I was a new rep to hear talks on closing. Closing was always my favorite. You know, I just thought that was so cool to learn how to answer an objection or how to answer an objection before it came up. For me, somehow that was just a very thrilling thing to learn. I remember getting ready to hear this guy, Kevin Norton, who was an All-American, give a talk on closing. And he gets up there and I'm all ready to take notes and everything. He says, well, here's what I learned. I learned that the best close is a really good prospect. And so I'm going to talk to you how to get the best leads possible.
For sure.
And that's what and then he spent a whole talk about how to get good leads, you know, how to get leads in the right neighborhoods, or not the right neighborhoods, but the neighborhoods that, you know, were more affluent or whatever, or that cook more. And I was like, I was disappointed, but I also was like, oh, wow, that's pretty profound. Yeah, I get it now, you know? So it really is it was a good lesson, I guess, to hear. Has everybody here heard the COVID-19 closing during coronavirus or whatever, closing during COVID? Everybody's been on that, right? Once or twice. Hopefully that has been valuable to you. I've got some things I want to teach. I want to put together some videos, and I want to try to make it more concise. You know, you guys have probably noticed when I get going on a video, I've got some 3 or 4 key points I want to make, but then as I'm making them, you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, but some things come into my head. Oh, this will be valuable here too. This will be valuable. And so my like 8 or 9 minute little talk, it turns into 20 minutes, you know, but there's 3 times when I think we make sales, as long as we're showing the right people, right? And as long as we're, in the right environment. The 3 places where we impact whether or not we sell or not the most, other than who I'm showing, right? That's of course an important part, is what I'm going to call the pre-demo. Like if you're doing one of the demos that has the video that you're showing, or whether you get involved in the Prezi, there are things that you can do and say and pre-frame for the customer to make them want to pay close attention to the next part. Okay. And I think that there's things that I call this the setting the stage. Okay. You're answering a couple of objections, but you're really giving someone a reason to look. Okay. And it would be something along the lines of, Ms. Jones, now I'm going to show you this video. What I want you to be, what a lot of people like to do during this video is pay very close attention to the different shapes and the sizes of the knives that are being shown. Because I find that a lot of people don't really know what a butcher knife is for, and what a slicer might be for, and why they would use a chef knife over a trimmer for different types of jobs. And this video is pretty quick, so you might end up with a lot of questions after watching, but just take notes on the different knives that you see that you think, oh, I could use that, I could use that, I could use that. And then at the end, we'll find out, kind of what kind of questions you have about any of the knives, and we'll make sure to cover all your questions and find out which ones would be the most valuable for you. And then if one of the sets that we have is not necessarily a good fit for you, we can customize something, or there's a lot of options that we can find. Now, again, you don't have to get anything, but since you're going to take the time to do this, and this is one of the top selling product of its kind, most people find at least something that they like when they watch this. So it's only 13 minutes. We're going to hammer through this. And I will say one more thing. If there's any way that we can configure one of the sets that we have that fits kind of what you're looking for, what would be good for you in your kitchen, the sets are by far the best way to go. They come with built-in discounts, sometimes significant, more than $100. And they're the safest way to have it. It has a good storage option because they come in really nice and beautiful wood blocks most of the customers like. So this video will show you one of the reasons, or a few of the reasons, why so many people are investing in Cutco, not just because of COVID, because they're at home all the time and cooking more. That's an obvious reason why our business is up. But the video will show you some of the different sets. So if there's a set that makes sense, that's what we're going to try to help you get. Otherwise, we can work on customizing something if that's better for you, or whatever ends up being the best fit for you. Fair enough, Ms. Jones? All right, great. All right. So anyway, and then we jump into the video. So I know that I don't know how you could script that exactly, but you see what I'm doing, right? Because I think a lot of reps, they just kind of get to the thing and they haven't even gotten the customer's real attention yet before the demo. And so if you don't get their attention and give them a reason to pay attention to this, hey, a lot of people get really excited about this and this and this. And oh, by the way, if you do like it, like most people do, sets are the way to go. So I'm going to work really hard to find a set that fits you. And if not, we can work on customizing something, whatever fits you the best, though, Ms. Jones, is what we'll work on, right? And so even though you said you don't have to buy anything, it shows that you have a very high expectation that they're going to really love it. And there's a very high likelihood that they're going to find something that they want. Does that make sense? And we need to create that at the beginning, okay? Before we even start talking any real detail about knives. So anyway, that's just an idea. I want to let's write out a script for that. I was going to do it last weekend, but I just never put it down as a priority to do. And then the second part is right after the video, or right after like you've basically covered the sets, before you ask for an order, there's a conversation that says what impressed you the most is the way the video training has, or whatever, you know, after you've kind of showed all the pieces in the guarantee, there's a conversation that needs to happen before starting to ask for the order. Like what impressed you most? What do you like? Why do you like this? And you know, it's not going to be exactly the same with every customer, but there should be a good several minutes of conversation in there to finding out. You've got to earn the right to be able to make a suggestion on what set they should get by listening to what kind of cooking that they do. If I don't know what their top 4, 5, 6 meals that they prepare are, how am I qualified to be able to make any kind of genuine recommendations? I haven't earned the right to make a suggestion, right? So we must have conversations about, the way I would put it, and when I field train, I do this. I say, just out of curiosity, before we try to start looking at what might be a good fit for you, whenever you prepare food, and I always say prepare food, not cook, okay? Because you use the word cook, some people associate a certain thing that they do in the kitchen with cooking, a big meal and on the stove, right? But people prepare food all the time, and they need knives to do food preparation. So it's a better phrase to use besides cook, right? So anyway, whenever you prepare food, like what's like a typical type of meal for you guys, or a few typical meals? Do you do a lot of salads? Do you do stir fry? Is it mostly chicken? Is it beef? What's kind of some of the things that you guys prepare a lot, right? And you ask that question, you give them some examples, and then you ask them, okay? And then you take you take notes, and you let them know you're taking notes. Okay, Mr. Ling, hold on, I'm getting this down, I'm taking notes on this because I want to make sure that we can really help you here. Dun, 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 right? And you're establishing yourself as an expert and a kitchen consultant, right? And once you establish yourself as a kitchen consultant and not some college kid who's got some goals and you're trying to help me with my goals, that's important, right? But now you got to transition into, now, thank you for helping me. Now I'm going to help you, okay? And you got to be taking notes, and you got to be getting those things down. And Ms. Jones, can you say that again, what you just said, right? And they know you're paying close attention to those things. And then you ask some questions. Do you bake? Do you ever bake bread? Do you bake brownies? Do you make pies? Even if it's only for special occasions, Ms. Jones. That's a really good. By the way, on the subject of pie, and this is this is when I think of something new and I want to throw in. On the subject of pies, Ms. Jones, I'm really, I'm young, and I'm, thinking about, my future, and I really would love to have a small database of really great pie recipes. Who do you know, Ms. Jones, who makes the best pie? I love apple pie, I love blueberry pie, I love pecan pie. Who do you know who makes the best pie ever? Right? And you just have this conversation, right? And they'll say, oh, you know what? There's a lady at my church who does really great and all that. And say, what kind of pie does she do? Oh, and most people, if they're over 30, they know somebody who's like the pie goddess, okay? People know somebody who loves to barbecue, and they know somebody who loves to make pies, and people who love to entertain. And don't wait till you're asking for references to find out those people's names, right? So you say, who makes the greatest pie, right? And so they'll say, oh, you know what? Mary Smith down at my church, she makes an amazing blueberry pie. He said, okay, later on when I ask you for some introductions, we want to make sure to write down Mary Smith, because even if she doesn't want to see me for a Cutco demo, I really want to get her pie recipe, right? You got at least one rec right there, guaranteed. Does that make sense to you guys? So these are just little things that you can do in there. See, that was a side note here. And I'm at my allotted time that I had a hard stop. Anyway, and then the other time is if they say no to the sets, when you start actually customizing, I think that there's brilliant things you can do in there to increase the number of 5-piece and 4-piece orders that you're able to get. And guys, if you get somebody on a 5-piece order, right, and it's really close to a galley set, it's not hard to say, gosh, you're so close to an essential set plus 5, Ms. Jones. You're so close to a galley set. Since you're always going to do this, if you decided to go ahead and upgrade to this, I'd be able to do this, right? And you give them a whole bunch of extra free stuff on it, right? Or you give them the table knives for free on the galley set, right? Once someone's made that decision to buy something, 2 knives, 3 knives, 5 knives, whatever, you should always make at least 1 or 2 attempts to upserve it to something that's a little closer to one of the sets, because the set, you're going to be able to take advantage of the discount of the set plus give some free stuff, and you're going to be able to give the customers the one that's going to be getting a far better value. And if they know that you're doing it on their behalf, and you're taking all these notes and finding out as much as you can about them and their situation for cooking, guess what? They're going to be much more likely to take your suggestions and your recommendations, right? And there should be at least 3 or 4 times that you're saying when you're going through the customized set process, especially, can I make a recommendation, Ms. Jones? They're always going to say yes. Here's what I see a lot of people do. Blah, 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 blah. Get this for free. That's a really great set of five knives. Ms. Jones, think about it. That's half the homemaker. And this is a line you got to use. Ms. Jones, that's half of the homemaker set, and it's all for $96 today. Okay. And when you have a 5-knife special, and as long as it's not all the big ones, and you put it on a 5-part payment, you can get that 5 pay of half a homemaker and Cheers for free. You can get that for under $100 today. Guys, that's a third of what they spend on a regular Costco run, right? You guys got to recognize that that's an easy deal. And when you put it in perspective like that, and you've shown that you're trying hard to help them find something that fits in their budget, it's exactly what they want, and they can tell you're working hard to make that happen, you're going to get a lot more sales a lot more often than not. There you go. There's some tips. Anybody dropping any nuggets in? Nobody's dropping any nuggets for all my things I said? Oh man, I thought you guys would be dropping nuggets in the group chat. All right, well, maybe you hated what I said. If you like anything, use it, put it in action. Okay, thanks, Tiffany. Nuggets, I like it. You can build up a set easy. Yep. Who makes great pie? Anyway, that's a Curtis Jakius. Curtis Jakius was a national champion, you know, and I learned that from him. I wish I'd have learned it when I was a rep, man. I didn't have too much problem getting Rex, but man, I would love that nugget a lot. So maybe we'll save part of that recording and I can make a little clip and we can use that for the video I was thinking about recording this weekend. Any final questions before I let you guys out of here? Are these worthwhile, these meetings? I know we're supposed to talk about websites and we do talk about them a little bit, but I end up either Ben Cooper or me or somebody ends up kind of preaching a little bit, and hopefully you guys get some nuggets. Because you guys are part of the core that's going to propel Southland this summer, especially some of you Newport Beachers. You know, you guys got a chance at having a Silver Cup, and if you guys get a Silver Cup, that's going to really help the chances of our division hitting the Silver Cup. And we need positive little people. We need a guy like Jaden learning all the nuggets because you can lead the way up there in West LA. We need Jason Guerrero. We need Danelmar, branch manager. If you want to win the company trip, man, all you got to do is knock out 10K push for SC2, and you win the company trip to freaking Spain, right? Hopefully you'll win it without even that part. But got a lot of things. Kim's going to be influencing the Irvine team and the NOC team. So and Vanessa's going to be likely doing some field training and influencing at least the Lakewood team, and maybe more than that. I might try to steal her over and have her work in my office too. But we got a lot of good things lined up for this summer, and we're poised for greatness. It looks like it's going to be a really great summer. I hate making predictions too early, but let's make this thing happen. Get her done. Oh, you know what we got? We got Anthony's Angels. Cassidy, Jana, Tam, Tiffany. We got Anthony's Angels right here. It's all.
Have you not seen my staff meetings? It's just me and a bunch of little Asian women. It's awesome. That's
great. All right, you guys. Hey, how come I'm still talking? I'm going to end the meeting and we're going to be done. It's going to be over. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Wave. Love you. See you later. Have a good weekend. Okay. Love you. Bye.